Yes. Well, it used to be called Cyrus Says. Now I'm a little confused because most of the days it's going to be Cock and Bull, but we still want to call it Cyrus Says. So there'll be no real distinguishing mark between Cock and Bull and Cyrus Says. We're working on this. Give me some time. We have a tutor who's in house who's going to explain to us how these titles work. But in the meantime, I have something I must discuss with our public, and by public I mean you three people who are on the show. Um, Here's a big question: should you text before calling? I had a big argument in the morning with somebody about this. Um, should you text or message before calling in the modern day? I was thinking that, frankly, there's a first circle of friends or family. Like if your mother, obviously, she can call you, and you, of course, with disdain, tell her, please don't call me, whatever. But that
Hmm.
those people, the close friends, relatives, the wife, the husbands, whatever, they can do what they want. You can't do much about that. It's a bit like government, as far as we're concerned. Then there's the second rung, which are not so work acquaintances, people you don't know well enough. Very often, people you don't know at all. I don't understand why they call up without messaging because you just see fear when you see the numbers. So here's my question: what is the right point at which you can call someone just blank cold call? All right. To find out more on this show, which used to be called Cyrus Says, maybe called Cock and Bull, it might be an amalgam of both. So Cyrus Says Cock and Bull, I don't know, or we'll just call it Jyotika, a friend of mine who I met after 10 years. On Jyotika today, we have joining us, thank God, a female presence. Now we have lots of female presence. The show is really going up in numbers. Ayushi is there, the shipping who hates the fact that we refer to her as a shipping in charge. If she was in the cabinet, they'd give her shipping, transport and shipping. She'd be like, hey, I don't want this. I hate this. But she's much more than shipping. She's my South Mumbai soulmate, and we're abusing. Well, three of us are South. Well, all four actually, because Silvery also grew up in Beach Candy for me. Silvery's story
Yeah,
is
I
really
did.
strange. He's a
Yeah,
Beach Candy boy in many ways, but he's also a Panchgani boy. So it's like
I
yeah,
he's
thought he
really
lived
all
in
over the.
Powai.
I do now. But 5 years of my life, from the third standard till the eighth standard. Sorry, second standard to the seventh standard, I was in Beach Candy.
Oh.
He
I
would have
was
been the
studying in
eighth
Beach Candy,
standard.
staying in
Ayush, it
vacancy
would have
room.
been the eighth standard. He had to do it twice, so it remained the seventh standard.
Yeah, correct,
Let's
correct.
not
Got
get
it,
into
got it,
that.
got
That's
it.
That's
just
exactly what
really
it was.
personal space.
I
Um,
like that you gave that clarity.
Yeah, like
yeah, but he's an interesting guy. He's like a 4G kid because he's grown up in Goa. He's grown up in South Mumbai, in Powai. Where else? Panchgani. So you've
Panchgani.
had
Yeah,
yeah. So you're not
I
really a
spent a lot of my
person.
summers in Agra.
Agra,
Family in Agra, family in Agra.
highly Mayawati
So
influence. Did she work for
random.
the
Yeah, family in
minister?
Agra.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
interesting. So you're a person of India in that sense because you've been all over. Of course, Amit is an NRI or OCI who's got all kinds of issues about pensions and all, which he has to talk about later on the show.
I'm
Don't
not
get
going to
him
talk about that.
started because the government works faster than any of us. And Ayushi, of course, but you work in car, right? You live in town and you work in car.
Yes, and I don't understand. And no, actually, you know what? I love this setup. IVM Studios here. I can work here. I can go there. It's perfect. I have no complaints today. Zero.
From a South Mumbai point of view, in any case, I think car is acceptable now. We can't, really. I mean,
100%.
come
There's
on.
nothing. It's like
Bandra
a
The
Khar,
straight
day
road.
Santa Cruz.
Exactly. The day you go to Malad or Mud Island or all these other places, or have you gone to Nalasopara? It's a lovely place, but it takes years. Panchgani is closer.
Hey, Tash is
Vitashka,
Thanks,
watching.
Natasha.
missed you. Antariksh,
Natasha,
why
host
missed
of
you?
an,
He's here every day.
He used to be our producer before he dropped us,
Oh,
and then
why did he
he
drop?
came to you.
A
You
lot of
should
things, man.
let me be clear. We don't want him. Why did you drop him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sure.
Just hop back, Silvery. Do the right thing.
Honestly, he dropped us because we used to call him without texting first. And that's
You
why he was like,
damn.
this is too much. They're too familiar. Like,
Yeah.
can't do it anymore.
There's too much pressure. All those
But
late night.
don't you feel horror when it's an unknown, unlisted number and you see it like that? I don't know. My heart starts skipping a beat, but not in a good way.
100%.
I get
yeah.
scared.
No, it's weird, right? When somebody calls you and you're not expecting them to call you, or
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, you're right. Friends and stuff like that is fine, right? Very close friends, family, that kind of stuff. You
Some
expect
people
to
at
call,
work also, because you know that possibly that's like a work related call or
right?
emergency. So it's like,
Yeah.
you don't need to ask me before you call me.
Right.
But like the third rung
Yeah.
of acquaintances.
People you kind of know, sort of know, who are like, even work stuff, right? People just like throw a call out, and I'm like, okay,
This could have been a text.
Yeah,
this could have been
basically,
text. Also, just ask because you know that we're in the middle of a work day. Chances are I'm doing something. I'm not going to
exactly.
be able to kind of
Because
just,
also more often than not, they're probably gonna ask you for something, right? Like a
yeah.
favor or like, hey, can
Yeah.
you help me with this thing? And you know what?
Basically, they're like telemarketers. There's no real difference, because they've got
Yeah.
some agenda and it's irritating. It just comes in the
Yep.
way of everything else. But Amit, go back to our old days when I don't know if you did that. I know I did that a lot. To avoid phone calls, I put on accents on landlines. So the phone would ring, you
Okay.
don't know who it is. You go like, Ele? Huh? Bole? Eh? And, you do that. And then finally be like, Cyrus, this is your Aunt Roshan. Can you stop doing that? Yeah, sorry, of course.
So
That would
you
happen
Uh,
a
used,
lot.
you used to back prank call people. Like you didn't
Yeah,
prank call
reverse
people,
prank.
but you
Yeah.
answered a normal call and pranked them back.
Yes, you're right to say a reverse prank
You
there
are a
in a sense.
menace.
But no, Ayushi, it was to safeguard my well-being because I don't know who the hell it is, and half the time people calling up don't know who they're calling up. You don't know what landline culture was. You're too young. Amit
No, I know
remembers
landline culture, and this is like landline before like caller ID, so you could see the number or
caller
whatever. But
ID.
I mean,
Caller
What are you,
ID
the
is well,
CID? Nobody
yeah.
had caller ID in those days. They're
No,
all
we
playing
had
with
one
tech.
phone that had caller ID. That was very
Why?
exciting.
but
Are you
that
a
was
diamond
also
merchant's
probably like
daughter?
in the 2000, like 90,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
late
but
90s,
yeah.
2000s.
So 1992 from like birth, when I
Huh.
was definitely
Huh!
answering phone calls
Get off the
straight up
show.
Right.
from the womb.
1992 birth. Oof. My Anderson, quickly please. Double dose. Well,
But
that's
I
so
mean that
painful. Yeah.
at that point, picking up the phone, it was a risk anyway, right? Because
Yep.
you don't know who is calling. It could
Yes.
be good news, bad news. It just could be a telemarketer. It could be Cyrus. You don't know.
No, it was a thing like, I mean, like, I know that, so this was before I moved back to India. So when I was very, very young, right?
Hmm.
When I lived in the US, 5, 6, 7 years old, which is what my memories probably are, phone used to be answered as this is the Doshi residence. That's how you're
This
supposed
is
to answer
very
the
much
phone.
formal.
yeah.
It was
Wow.
weird, but
Sounds like the
I
Bill
think of it
Cosby
weird
show.
now. Huh?
The Cosby show didn't they Huxtable residents and they used to do that? That was the first
Yeah,
time
no,
I
but I
heard it.
think that was kind of like, again, we were from Philadelphia, that Bill Cosby,
There you
Philadelphia,
go.
I guess, in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sense,
yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But it was how you answer the phone. This is the Doshi residence. So I mean, like, it was a very different kind of this, right? Where now it's just like,
So how does it
Was
work for the
was there
prime minister? Can he say hello? This is my country, bolo? I mean, like in a sense,
Why
just
did I laugh at that? That was so bad.
oh, it is funny. Hello, Mitro, my country, Sujo
was
Edge.
there
I'm just thinking there
uh,
must be something like that you're allowed to
yes,
do
was there
at
like
some point.
telemarketer scams in those days? Like
oh,
when
all the
there
time.
wasn't.
Yeah. So many.
Yeah.
So many, because you had no way to find out about
Yeah.
things, right?
Exactly.
So there was just straight up scamminess around, like, I remember, in India also it used to happen, in the US also
Hmm.
it used to happen, but just straight up, like, people would be calling you and like selling you stuff over the phone, and like, try to get your credit card information in
I
some
guess at
way.
that point, it could even be like bank account
Yeah,
information and like, what's
Yeah,
your
people weren't
PAN
aware.
card and
Right.
yeah,
what's
Yeah.
your
yeah.
Did you guys ever do this?
No.
I used to do this late 90s, early 2000s with MTV because if they gave you the day off, they can call you last minute like a doctor, for no reason. So to avoid that, I would invent this thing about the lines being crossed. So then I do the fake thing. I'd have the consistent accent of the same person and saying, our lines are crossed because they would get crossed in the old days a lot, and
They
so then they
would.
wouldn't be able to reach me. But they were a nightmare. I was getting the days off today. Now you get a call 11 o'clock. Maria's not well. Can you please come to Oshiwara in the next 2 hours? I mean, those are the words you never want to hear. Oshiwara in 2 hours. You know what I mean? Oh God.
But how is
I
how
miss
is
it.
that for you guys? Like to be called into like I want to understand how that works for someone who has a regimented job. Like how is it to wake up in the morning and be told, okay, can you come into work today, or like how do you deal with your day suddenly just, oh, now it's this instead of that? How?
No, no.
There's always
If
some
you're a
notice, right?
shirker, it's a bigger problem. They have workers who are very professional and they like working, so they feel happy when they're told for the extra stuff happening, etc. For me, it's always the opposite. I always check the week and used to say, okay, so Thursday's off. There's no shoot on Friday. There's nothing to do, and then I'd plan my, whatever. And then suddenly they did. Yeah, how do they? That's the worst thing. It's like school being cancelled, then you call back. It's just wrong.
That's what I can't imagine that being a very nice phone call to pick up, because if
No,
if
no.
I had the day off and then they told me actually you have to come in, I would straight up have a stop. Like I'd be
Yeah.
like, no, you said this was my day off. How you can do this to me now?
No, and the emergencies for me were always the female VJs who were always falling sick at a drop of a hat for whatever reason, don't
Why
turn
you
up, and
gotta
I'm
bring
always a
women into
stepney.
this? Why
It
do you
was
have
a
to say
sexist thing. The
female
males never really
VJs?
bunked. The females would bunk, and then I would have to be called. The stepney always I was called last minute. They always
So
went
you
after me.
admit that you were a backup? to other women?
I was a backup. I was the eternal 12th man. It was ridiculous, honestly. It was not fair. It's not a compliment. It's just like, just get him. Okay, don't even
Wow.
bother trying to find Saukar who will never answer the phone in any case. Saukar didn't get up till 12, 1 in the afternoon. So there's no question to get him in the morning. And Chinappa would always be doing some stuff with that trance music rubbish which the government should have arrested him for in the beginning and ended the matter, but for which we suffer even till today. Uh, Concussion substitute MD. Yes, I was. What's it with you girls? Ayushi, they used to, I mean, not even give a proper excuse. Maria would call up and say, I'm not feeling well. And then I asked them, so what happened to her? I'm not feeling well. Call up Maria. No, I'm not feeling well. But what is it specifically? Like, what happened? I mean, is it AIDS? Is it cholera? Is it
No, I'll tell
COVID,
you.
last stage?
I'll tell you exactly what
Please
it
don't say
is.
periods.
It's work from
No,
home.
no, no,
It's
no. It's like none of your business.
Yeah, it is that. It is that. It is that.
Yes, exactly.
They maintain a certain distance with the producers and the others so that they couldn't ask them more questions. With some of us, they would just ask you non-stop. And with them, it
But
would
then,
be like after one, they'd back off. No more
but
questions,
then
no further
you're like
questions.
that annoying HR who wants to be like, yeah, but kya hua? Like, what happened? I'm not well. Like, if I was well, I would have come in, but I am not, so I'm not coming. Like, I have
Why
X
can't I get
amount of
this?
sick days.
So if you run your company and you do, and somebody calls up and says they're not well, that's good enough. You don't want to know exactly what happened. What's I'm not well? Let's ask the other proprietor here. Is it okay to call up and just say I'm not well?
I'm generally okay with it, to be honest with you. I mean, like, because again, it is, Ayushi just mentioned, right? Fixed number of 6 days. So, I mean, like, if you take a sick day, you take a sick day. You're allowed to take as many sick days in that sense. I
Yeah,
get pissed off in some ways when it's multiple days and then there is no reasoning,
fair enough.
right? That, I mean, like, if you're like, oh, I'm not well, and then again, next day, I'm not well, and next day, then I'm like, okay, what's going on here, right? I mean, like, but a day or two when, like, you have the cold, you have the flu, you have whatever reasons, that's fine.
Give me the reason. The
Um,
reason is important.
I don't care.
Like I was
What
hungover
what
once and I
difference?
had to go and shoot. I mean, I vomited at
But
Lucky's
you should
restaurant.
take a sick day
And,
when
and
you're
here's the
hungover.
irony: I had to shoot Salman, who wasn't hungover. So it was like, my
Wow.
God, look at my luck.
Wait,
One time
huh?
over here,
He was
he's
better
not
at
hungover
handling
and
it.
I am. I
Or
had to
he was
stop
better
the
at
cab.
handling it.
Sorry?
Or maybe he
No,
was just better at
he
handling
gave me
it.
a lecture. Salman gave me a lecture.
Wow.
I said, bro, I'm really hungover. He's like, man, you got to stop drinking after 2. He gave me some timing issue about how 5 hours is enough to stop drinking. I was like,
Hey, that's pretty. That's good advice. I'm sure. Like if you stop at a certain time,
But
but to get
he
this
gave me some
advice from Salman
he's
Khan,
at 2 a.m. in the
yeah.
morning, right? Stop
Well,
drinking at
on
2
the other
a.m. in
hand,
the
he is the
morning.
right guy to talk to, right? At
yeah,
least at
that's
that
very
time. So,
true.
but I was thinking that for once that I'm not feeling well, I'm really hungover, and he'll also be hungover because it was a 9 o'clock call time. He, of course, turned up only at 10, but no, he was fine. He had cycled and come there. He was looking good. He was, all happy, coherent.
He
I mean,
cycled.
I was Salman, and he was like, he was the coherent one, and everything. It's terrible.
How many
Yeah.
years ago was this?
This partner, whenever partner was on, for partner, we had to go and wait for the shoot.
That,
So we shot all of them. This is when we shot Govinda as well. Oh my God, one of the
so
great
that was
experiences of my life. Yeah.
2007 this was.
Yeah.
wow, I actually had that
Amit is
in
here
my
and
head.
listening.
Yeah, 2007 you had?
Silver is doing
I
the
was
smart
like,
thing
it
but
was
not giving
like
him a
before
secret spot.
2010, after
Yeah.
2005.
Hey guys, elephant time, elephant in the room time. Silvery,
Mhm.
tell us about how
Yeah,
you manage not to come to work.
I don't take days off. I'm always like I'll
Working from
work
home.
from
Yeah,
home.
that's changed the
Yeah,
game a
Oh,
bit.
as
is
I
this
told
a
you guys,
thing? Is this a thing that you don't come to work?
less so.
This is the
It's
first
the
week
travel,
he's been there
man. I'll just be
regularly.
honest. It is the travel.
Wait, because
And he
I thought you had 5 cars.
6.
Yeah, so all
He
of
Six.
that
sold
is
one.
travel.
They're in
No,
the
there's a
process of
cavalcade
buying.
that comes with me every day. It's a
It's
whole
like the
thing.
Rajya Sabha. 2/3 retire, but the next 2/3 come in. So the same thing's happening. The 6 is being procured as we speak. So it's 6. It's always 6. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, dude,
So
at the pandemic, as a great excuse
only
for
only you.
working from
Yeah,
home.
only you had the
Yeah,
pandemic.
everyone
The other
had.
40
Everyone
people
had.
I just
in.
don't think it's an acceptable excuse anymore.
Not
Oh no, I
anymore.
shouldn't
Yeah.
say this. This is live. You can't edit that.
What?
What?
I don't think
No,
No.
the
no, you.
pandemic is like an excuse anymore for
Oh,
anything.
okay,
I
it's
Yeah.
think
not.
you're
It's
right.
not.
I
Yeah.
support you.
Now I
Absolutely
have
right.
to.
We are all of us. How many? 1, 2, 3.
I've had
Please,
COVID
don't.
twice.
How can we be scared
We're
to say
6
these
people in
things?
this room right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
lot of you.
And Aishi, why should you feel fear to say this? We've had enough. Listen, the world has
I
got us
don't know
slightly wrong.
what
They've
can
been
get you
far too
into trouble
conservative. There's no
anymore.
question. No, that's nonsense. So they're going to cancel you. You're off Spotify. What are you talking
I'm
about?
not
This is
big enough to
ridiculous.
be cancelled, so it doesn't matter. Like
In our
I'm
in our
a
little
I'm a
worlds,
mute at both.
we can all be cancelled by. Imagine the WhatsApp groups taking off. You'd be so happy. I was so worried working with someone, and they said we'll put you onto our WhatsApp group, and I'm like, oh God, not another one. Oh, that's unbelievable. It's
I
another one
would
to read.
I want WhatsApp to be able to be split. Like I don't want dual SIM. I want dual WhatsApp. So I can have a WhatsApp that's for personal and then WhatsApp that's for professional. So
Yeah,
then,
Yeah,
you know,
I
then
yeah.
thought of that.
then at
That
like
would be
5 o'clock,
great.
then
Superb.
you know that, or like not
Yeah.
5 o'clock, that's so easy.
Whatever.
I mean, like around 7, at 7, you can be like, okay, now I'm not going to open this
That
box
one,
at all.
yeah.
It's just personal. I want to be able to
Or
bifurcate
more
the WhatsApp.
importantly,
Somebody
at any
invent that.
yeah, and at any time of the day, you can take the more trivial calls because that's what you're interested in. More trivial messaging.
Yeah.
Let's
Do
face
you
it,
like that
we don't
WhatsApp
want
still says when
serious
the other
messages.
person is online? Do you guys like that?
I switched mine off years ago.
You can do the online thing also off.
Yeah.
What? I know you can like read messages is off,
Oh.
but when you're online, people can still see you online.
Oh yeah.
I don't even think I've
Yeah.
never looked at that. I don't believe that. I think everybody is always online.
Yeah,
Because
Because
we're all
kind
on
of-
web
we all,
WhatsApp
Yeah.
now.
yeah,
Yeah,
and also
what's the
we all
thing?
have like
If you cancel the blue tick
constant data
thing,
connections.
the fact of the matter is you've definitely read the message and you're purposely not answering back. I mean, let's face it. That's
Hmm.
the fact of the matter. That's the whole philosophy
Well,
behind it. No
even
one
dude,
doesn't read it.
even you can read everything through notifications now, so you don't even need the blue ticks or not that.
Yeah, you
Mm.
can.
I leave
don't.
messages unread because it's for me it becomes a to-do list that I still need to deal with this message.
Mm.
Even if I've read it on the notifications, I'll keep it as unread because then you'll go and you clear the stuff out at some point in time. Otherwise, like people who are you're supposed to give like some sort of information back to or something like that, you never get back to it.
Yeah,
So-
I like to
Did any of
keep-
you shift to Telegram and Signal and all
Oh
that?
God,
No.
You
Huh?
did. You did. You went to
Who?
Telegram for some time.
Who,
Remember,
me?
we discussed it. No, Silvery.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry.
I
When I point, you
downloaded it.
can't see.
I downloaded it, and it's there. It's there on my phone, but I don't use it. It's
We
still WhatsApp.
discussed this, Amit. We were on
Yeah,
one of our
yeah,
cock
we
and
did.
bulls.
When that whole thing was going on, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but
we had that.
it's just nobody else is going to use it. What's the point?
I don't even
Well,
Yeah.
care. I said it
Yeah.
last week on the show. I was like, take all my cookies, take
Yeah.
everything, do autofill everywhere. Just
Autofill
make
is so
my
good.
life easier when I'm
Yeah.
shopping. That's
Yeah.
like that's
Hey,
it.
so you know what happened? I actually
Hey,
this happened
hey,
yesterday.
hey, wait, there's a nice little slap on this side. Cyrus shifted from tar to pager. Yes. I love the pager, Amit. I don't. These guys won't know pagers, but pager was lovely because MTV gave me a pager because I didn't have a mobile phone for a
Okay.
little while, and then it would go, and then you have to call them back, especially from airports where you call them, find the PCO. It was great fun carrying the pager. Apparently, only drug addicts, drug pushers used to have
It
it
was a drug
across the
thing, yes.
world. It was
And
the thing.
doctors,
Doctors,
Doctors
people who
too.
need to be on call. You
Yeah,
need
who
them
had to
when you
be on-
need them. I need you now.
that is a hot.
That's
exactly.
why.
You
That's why they
need
needed Cyrus,
Cyrus,
right?
a drug dealer, and your doctor on speed dial.
Sometimes your
No,
drug
but
dealer and your
MTV
doctor is
gave
the
it to
same
him,
guy.
right? So I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Did you also have a pager?
Yeah.
Amit?
no, God,
Never.
no, man. I went straight to.
You
cell
must have
phone.
had it for a little while.
It was
or-
a no.
My
it was
mother
a,
had.
It was a 5-year period. Pagers. I mean, like
Yeah.
it was literally from like the mid
Yeah,
'90s to
maybe
like
longer, maybe
'97.
longer, maybe a little longer. But did your mom have a pager? You said for what
She
did
was a
she
doctor,
do?
right? She was a doctor.
She's a doctor.
So she had a pager.
So
for
that's
her.
a horrible thing now because you can't even discuss it really. You just get a page saying come to the hospital, whatever it means, and you have to go, right?
Yeah, that's basically
So-
what it is. Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to know. You had a problem with the sick day excuse because you wanted to know. Now, and the doctor's also being paid. You imagine if the doctor had first called and said, "What is the emergency?" Then I'll come. Like, so you just have to go. It's an emergency. It's the same day. I'm sick, so I'm not
That's-
But,
coming.
but
That's
in all
not-
fairness, don't doctors ask though? Like, क्या हुआ? अरे bullet है? क्या है? Like, you
I
get
do
bullet
not
है?
want to be with
You're
this
the
doctor.
only one who grew up with a doctor, so
Yeah,
you would
so-
have to answer that question.
mean,
And when you say bullet hair, are you
But
meaning
my
the
mother's a
bike or
pediatrician.
what?
So if it's a child
And bullet
emergency,
with the
I imagine-
kids.
Yeah.
Who
What
in
was
Powai
happening
is
in
shooting kids
Funchini when you were
indiscriminately?
growing
I'm
up?
not coming to Powai.
confused.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Every day
as
she'd
far as I
come home and say,
remember,
"Beta, one more bullet." What's going on?
I don't think my mother ever answered the call. Like, I never paid attention to what the
She
norm
was
was. She
asking.
called up the hospital first and like, hey, क्या बच्चे को क्या हुआ? क्या रात को जगाते हो तुम लोग?
Yeah,
क्या
they'll
है?"
have a
This-
they'll have a process in place. You don't have to always run.
Hmm.
There'll be other people to call and whatever. But that cycle has to be started. So if you're off work, it irritates you that you're back on in a sense, even if you don't physically go. I can understand. Yeah, because I grew up with my father who came home at 6 o'clock and never looked at the phone. He wouldn't take the phone. If the phone rang, he'd say, not in, not in. So our whole culture was once we're off, we're off. You know, now that's all
Yeah.
dead thanks to work from home. You can never be off. They screwed you 24
Well,
hours.
you don't necessarily need to work from home. You can come to an office. You're in the office right now, or you could come here to the studio. Either one, right?
I'm going to come
like
once a week from next week. I told Vinay, and I've
Oh.
got the chain of command that best to tell Vinay because I've been talking to Silvery and hurting Vinay's feelings. But you put a
Okay.
bureaucracy,
That's fine.
bureauctic process in place. So
No,
Vinay
don't
should
worry,
not
we're
feel
all
I
bad.
friends.
I
We're all
thought Cyrus
family.
was at home.
No,
Is that
right now
office?
he's in his office.
No, my home and my office
Oh.
are the same thing. I'm like the Bharatiya Janata Party. The whole country is their office. Unless, of course, the SP upsets the apple cart. I'm hearing things. I'm hearing things on
Cyrus,
ground. Let's see.
Have you
Oh.
ever had to like spend the night in the office? Like say Aisha, like and you had a fight or
No,
something.
but I've
Does that
spent it in
happen?
the
ever?
MTV office. Thank you. Oh
Okay, really?
God.
Because of
Yeah,
this reason?
we
Because of this reason?
no, we didn't finish shooting, man. We were shooting
Oh,
as
okay,
Sai
right, right.
versus Sai, and
Oh,
there was
right,
some
right.
technical F-ups,
But
and three
that's,
became
dude.
four, four became five. Then we slept
I'm
for a
sorry.
couple of hours and continued. Huh?
That seems very less in your entire life. You only spent one night overnight working.
No, no, no.
That's
Are you
really
mad?
low.
4 Greenathons without sleep. One Pepsi ad
Huh.
where we had to shoot the early morning light thing after shooting the late night thing. Stay
Huh.
there. Yeah, we
Okay.
just
All right. So,
slept for an hour or two in a trailer, but that's it. I've had
uh,
plenty of overnight. I just shot in Mud
huh.
Island and came back at 3:30 in the morning, two
Yeah.
Sundays back.
No, that's what I was just.
Horrible,
That seems really strange, given what you
horrible,
do. That
horrible.
you would
But
not
it's
have
the
a
same thing
lot of
as
overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Night
same thing
shoot
as
and all is
exam
very
time.
normal, na?
Yeah.
It's like exam time. There's just a point which you cross, and then your energy is back to normal.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is a
Yeah.
yeah.
terrible bit, which is bad. And then after
Yeah.
that, I just realized human beings are unbelievable. You don't really need sleep. You just cross that line, and then you're back to normal. Your
I mean,
adrenaline or
not
whatever's taken
endlessly
over.
though.
Yeah. Not forever.
You're back.
That's where you go nuts, right?
It's like low, and then you go back high. It's like being, I don't know,
Yeah. No,
whatever.
but you
It's not
can
just
do it
me.
like
I'm seeing
four
people
times.
around me. No, but
Yeah.
Amit, I'm seeing people around me. It's not me. Everybody, the people working on that project
You
and
don't
all.
let people sleep?
But it's not like we all
That.
sleep together. It's an orgy that I'm working at, for God's sake, Ayushi. 15 ugly men, two hairy women. It's something like that. That's been the normal roster. It's been terrible. Horrible times, really. But I remember that night because we had a boss, a production head called Sylvia, who was very khadus and irritating a little bit at some point. Lovely lady though, and so we changed the rat poison to Sylvia rat poison. And so one gag we took 1 hour 55 minutes to shoot a 2-minute gag, Saukar and me, because every time I said Sylvia rat poison, he would start laughing or I would start laughing, and then everybody was laughing. They just went on and on and on, and the night wasn't ending. But we refused to give up the name Sylvia. It was our little, fight back against oppression because she didn't give us
Sylvia
Now,
Frankie.
sounds
now
a
you
little
have
close
Sylvia,
to
She
then
didn't get us
Sylvia.
Sylvia. I was
Frankie
Yeah,
about
either.
to
like
say, I was like, are you
sounds
projecting?
personal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's personal. We wanted Frankie's. By the time she did order the Frankie shut. Now, this is whatever 2001, 2, 3, whatever it was, and Frankie shut at 10 o'clock or something. You call the Shivaji Park stall or whatever. It's not available, and we were so angry because we were thinking of Frankie's from 5 for 5 hours.
You know,
Frankie.
I agree with you on the Frankie thing because there's less and less Frankie shops now in the city, like specifically the Tibbs ones. And this is a personal
Yeah,
I
complaint I have, and I'm
know.
just using this airtime to share it.
only
Please let
Tibbs
me
is
know where the
Frankie.
Tibbs is.
Gives us
So the new one is at
FRANKIE.
Gamadia Road.
Gamadia, where?
Gamadia Road,
Where
next to the
in the lane?
the Universal Music, the Saregama office.
but I feel like in
There's a
Swati
Tibbs there?
restaurant.
Yeah,
Swati
yeah,
restaurant. When
yeah.
you take the right
Yeah,
to come
yeah,
up
yeah.
there. Sorry, not Gamadia Road, Forge Street.
Yeah, Forge, not
Forget
Gamadia
Yeah,
Road.
Forge
Street.
Street.
Forge.
Forge Street.
Swati,
Forge
of
Street.
course.
It's there.
It's there. You
Guys,
take
but
the
I could
right
drop my
from
veg
Swati
friends
to
to
come
Swati
back
and go
to
to
Kemp's
get my
Corner.
Frankie.
This whole episode has been worth it just for this information.
Guys, but
Yes.
Tibbs is so easy to get by. Like on
What?
Swiggy and Zomato,
No,
Tibbs is
ew,
everywhere.
absolutely not. It
No?
comes
No, you
dead,
charge more.
duck.
Yeah,
It's
Frankie,
soggy.
you have to
You
eat
have
at
to
the
go there.
place.
No,
You have to
that's
you
I
have to
don't.
go.
No,
Yeah.
No,
Frankie
you have
I
to
heat
She's
it up.
stand
right.
over.
I heat it up in
She's
my
right.
microwave.
No,
It loses
Frankie's
one
need to be
generation.
crispy. You need that
Yeah,
naan
yeah,
to
yeah.
be
You have to
like.
I-
slip him a tenner
I
and
have
be
a
like, kadak
sandwich
karo.
thing at home, which I then put my Frankie on there.
No, the one next to
No.
Krishna is gone. My office
That's
is above
Frankie at home.
Krishna. I can
Yeah.
see them. Those waiters will all lost
Yeah,
their
the
jobs.
Trishna one is
Krishna.
shut now.
Gone. That was so nice to have it right there. But anyway, it's also a very convenient meal. It's not too expensive. It wasn't expensive then, at least now it's become a little higher.
I love
But it's
And
not. It's
Frankie.
still not
I
that bad.
love
It's like
Frankie.
$110 or something like
I
that.
think I want
It's
one
a little
now.
bit more when you do it online.
Okay.
It hurts me
Yeah.
more than it hurts you. Trust me. Because I have to do always. I always, the love for it and what you're getting out of it versus the kharcha. Got to just look
What
at it
is the
both.
what is the best Frankie flavor? What is the best version of the Frankie?
Oh, I just like the single egg
Mutton.
mutton normal one,
Yeah.
the old fashioned.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tasha
We
is
always run out of
cyberbullying
mutton.
me.
What?
My co-host is
No need
cyberbullying
to bribe
me.
into crispy Ayushi.
The guy at Breach Candy takes the bribe, which is why you have to give it, otherwise he doesn't do it.
So that's again great point. Always with like Frankie's, dosas, and like naan and roti and all. No, I
Ah,
always specifically call up the restaurant and say extra crispy.
But
Okay.
they don't
No,
listen.
the naan and all you don't
I
even
make it
order.
extra crispy. I tell them specifically and tell them कि मैं वापस कर दूंगा नहीं तो. So then they're like a little bit more incentivized to.
So we
Oh.
don't do that. We just don't get the naans and the rotis from the
What's
restaurant
a
anymore.
frankly for us non-Mumbaikas? Oh, it's a Frankie.
Frank.
It's a roti,
Yeah.
man, with
You just
something.
spell
It's
it out.
like
Kathi
Spell it out
whatever
on
you
the
want. A
text.
kathi
Yeah,
roll.
it's
Yeah,
a
it's
kathi
kathi roll.
Yeah.
But kathi roll
It's
is made
not
in
just
Rumali
that,
roti.
man. It's got that
This is
masala
made
which
in,
is
like,
unique and all
USA.
that. Come on, it's got its own spin. Because others have copied
Yeah.
it and
It's
spelled
got
it
that vinegary
Franky.
taste to it, which
Yeah,
is a
because
little
it's
Yeah,
got
this, yeah,
like onions
yeah.
soaked in
yeah,
vinegar, chili soaked in vinegar.
yeah.
That's true. This is a.
He
I
named it after
like this
Frank
episode a
Worrell, the
lot.
great grandfather. He's been on our show. The son and the
Yeah,
father has been on our show.
the Sardarji, no,
Named
the
after
like his,
Frank Worrell, the famous West Indian captain, the first black ethnic captain of the West Indies, etc., etc. Big cricket fan.
Are you
Named it
kidding?
after
Is
Frank
this
Worrell.
real?
Not lying, true. So I
yep.
loved it
Okay.
even more because now we
Wow.
2 layers were immersed into Frankie culture.
Do you know the
Swear my
origin
mother
of the word sandwich?
from
The
the
Earl
Earl
of
of
But
Sandwich,
you
Sandwich.
know why he made it? Why he used to make a sandwich?
He had two chicks
playing
and
poker.
Yeah,
had this
because
great idea.
he didn't want he yeah.
Yeah, while playing
Fine, you
cards.
stole it from me.
I'm sorry.
You could have
I
just
sometimes I
let me
have to be a
have
But
it.
know-it-all.
I still didn't understand what is the
Bengali
reason behind
rolls,
sandwich.
Kostov.
He wanted something that you could hold in one hand, which had meat, cheese, and bread.
No, but who is this person?
The Earl of Sandwich. He was
Only
a
He was
Earl,
old,
Earl,
Earl,
He was a
EARL, like the
British,
British. He was a guy.
British
Okay.
lord of
silvery,
something.
silvery.
Okay.
And in the
Yeah.
other hand, he held something else. He's a disgusting man. You don't want to hear about this
Oh,
guy.
cards.
Cards.
No, but Kostov
Mumbai
has brought
street
in
food is
another
trash.
point.
Delhi for the. This is not right. I don't like all this. We didn't go
Wait,
into
wait,
this
wait,
hot
wait.
and
No,
heavy
no, no.
saying that oh Frankie's amazing and Delhi sucks. Why are you
One
going
sec.
to bring the city
You're
into
jumping
it?
ahead. Kostov mentioned the Bengali roll, the Calcutta roll rather than Bengali. That's the way it's called.
Oh,
If you've gone to Kolkata, eaten the original roll, the actual one, I think on what is Shakespeare's Park. What's it? The Park Hotel? I think it's the Park Hotel. Yeah, back
yeah.
opposite that. That's fantastic. Double mutton, double chicken, double egg. You
Yeah,
can get all that.
Bengali rolls are great.
I like a
Oh, and that's
Bengali roll.
Even
oh,
Bombay
that's
also.
fantastic.
The
I
Nizam
didn't know you
roll or
get it
something they're
here.
called, no?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
There
No,
is
but
Nizam.
it didn't work here. They've opened it in Andheri and in South Bombay, and it didn't work. And now
Okay.
somebody else is coming up with their version, but that's not the original. The original,
Yeah,
maybe
no.
we're just crazy, but it tastes really nice. Now Delhi food. Delhi street food is also pretty good. You go
Of
to
course
India
it
Gate and
is.
eat, but I don't know. I think Mumbai street food is really good actually, including the
I
veg
love
stuff. That's the
Bombay
only
street
veg food I
food.
eat. Is a
Yeah.
street,
Like
you know,
a
the
Bombay
chaat and the
sandwich, you're
sandwich and-
telling me
No, the
that
sandwich
Yeah.
is the best. The single
my
best.
mouth
course.
has
Yeah.
completely
me
filled
too.
with spit.
Yeah, your mouth's filled with spit. My diabetes is irritating me because I can't eat it. The guy he's the only one who
Why?
really felt pain when I told him I'm diabetic. My sandwich guy down.
Ah.
क्या bread नहीं खा सकते he was most upset. He didn't get $40 a day gone for the next year. Oh,
Also, like a
pretty good.
vada pav. I don't think there's anything better than grabbing a
Taste-wise.
vada pav and it just.
I
Although
don't
I
like vada
feel
I
pav.
don't like
you
vada
could
pav
improve
either.
it by
Nice, thank
removing
you.
one pav. There's too
There's
much pav in that.
only one place I like vada pav from, which is the guy at Worli Sea
Woli.
Face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
that's the only vada pav I
It's
like.
so
World
Samosa
good.
or
famous
vada
guy.
pav? Like always.
Oh,
World
both.
famous.
Really?
Yeah.
What about the pav bhaji?
No,
The
vada
Mumbai
pav.
version.
Vada pav. That's a lie. I'll
Yeah.
do
No,
the
the
vada pav.
Sardars.
With the
again, where
pav,
we grew up.
bhajia pav is the best for me. If
What's
it's like
a
hot,
bhajia pav?
like
Oh,
pakoras.
pakoras in
Yeah.
a. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
okay, yeah, fair enough, fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's the best. If it's hot.
But the Sardar's pav bhaji you guys have had or not? At least in the
Mhm.
heyday.
Yeah,
I mean, come
it's
on,
not the
guys. That was
same.
fabulous.
It's not the same.
I haven't had it in
No?
years.
I ordered it. I ordered it at home a while ago, and it was not the
You
same
can't
because
eat
the
it at
Sardar.
home.
I want to
The delivery
yeah,
kills it.
yeah. You have to eat it there because it's that it's that like half melted butter in the plate and half
Exactly.
bhaji in the plate. That's
But
what
these are
kind
the
of
things that you need to like.
you have to eat
That's
it
why I
there.
can't order like a Frankie. I
Yeah.
just can't, I can't do it.
And all the
I
South
tried
Indian
ordering
snacks
it. It's not
immediately.
good.
Mm.
But even this was
Otherwise,
not good.
Dante L.
Love misal.
Yeah, too spicy for me.
I'm not a big fan. Yeah.
I like
But I
it.
Dabeli?
I miss
Dabeli?
No.
Not even.
So there is in
Is it good?
Andheri West Station, right? If you get out of the Andheri West side, there is a guy who like a stall. He's in the Limca Book of Records for like the fastest Daveli maker. He makes like 30 a minute or something like that. Like,
Okay.
maybe even 40 a minute or something. Some crazy.
Wait, what?
So, yeah, crazy stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's there.
Yeah, but
Yeah. This is a thing that people do.
What?
You ask for
Oh
a piece
yeah,
of
piece of potato with the
yeah,
masala on it.
Yeah,
and they
of
put the
course.
masala. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
kill
and
the
the-
spice, no? Because
Kill
I mean,
the
like
spice,
the
yeah.
the chutney at the end is spicy, so just to kill
But
the
this is a
spice.
very
People
a
do
little.
UP
this, yeah.
thing, North Indian thing, where they're just a little more welcoming about, so after you buy the thing, they always try to give you a little extra. So that seems to be always there with the sandwich guys and the bhel
But
walas,
it's like
etc.
even the sukha bhel,
Extra
like after
gooey,
you've
yeah.
had bhel, then they'll give you the dry one,
Exactly.
and it's
My
white.
guy, he always gives us the extra sukka bhel, and nobody eats
Oh.
it at home, and I don't know how to tell him to stop. From the road.
But yesterday,
But I
wait.
like sukha
Yesterday the
bhel
discussion
sometimes.
was that Cyrus was not happy that we asked people for the sukha puri.
What
In-
the
in the
hell
No,
is
no.
Chinese bhel?
That so
What?
my point is,
Chinese bill is awful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Chinese bill is
Szechuan.
awful.
What is it?
It's
Just
Szechuan.
crushed noodles?
It's
With
crushed
Szechuan, yeah.
noodles with
Well, I think it
Szechuan
died.
and like some veggies and
Chinese
stuff
bill sort
like
of
that.
died. It was a fad for
No,
a
you
little
still
while,
get
not
it.
that
You
hot
still
now.
get it.
Yeah, how many people
Being
eat
from
it?
a Gujarati family, I have to order it fairly often in my house.
You guys invented
And
it. You
it's
guys invented
awful.
it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
You guys
it's
invented it.
terrible.
China, wash the hands of it. This is not us. We have got nothing to do with this Chinese bill.
They banned Chinese beer. They
Yeah,
banned it. That was
yeah.
their ban. Like no.
Since we're talking about food, one of my like price destination that I have to visit is the Parathe Wale gully in Delhi. Have you
Okay.
guys been there?
Oh,
I
No.
don't think
I've
so.
been
Not that
Cyrus has
specific.
been.
millions of
Cyrus.
options. Yeah,
Right,
very good.
dude. It's just I just keep
Again, what
watching
Amit
video
says,
after video, and it's
you
nice.
have to go there. You got to stay there. In the summer, it's really hot. We shot it in the summer a long time ago, so I remember. And but it has to be eaten immediately. There's no question. There's no question. I mean, you can't
I
even
have
think
an
of that.
idea.
Like in
Amit
your
is
mouth.
here, so I'm now gonna ask it, and he has no option but to say
Yeah.
this is live. You should take the show on
The
the
road,
road and
yeah.
make it an eating show, and not just for naan curry. That's not fair that they should have the monopoly on food. I'm saying like take Cyrus on the show, and then like just this ragtag group of like his regulars just comment. I think it would be
Or you can
great.
just do like a 5-6 podcasty thing. Just go to one
Yeah,
area
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
and say north or south and just shoot
yeah,
freeform. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Recording is really hard to do when you're outside like that. But we
But
can
look at your
do.
stellar, amazing team here.
Yeah.
They can do anything.
We can do it for parathas,
I
but
mean,
I think it'll be worth
I
it
mean, don't.
just for the parathas.
Only a petty mind would say they were 90 seconds late today, but hey, I mean, that's really stupid. Don't get into that. I think
Now
they're
Tash wants to be
fabulous.
Yeah.
nice, and now
Yeah.
she wants to get back on. Before she was shaming me, now she wants to be on the show because we're eating.
Yeah, but
So
when
somebody
you
said,
talk about
"Let
these
Kunal
things,
host it."
no,
Oh,
please, Kunal, no. He's just lost 21 kilos. It'll be a crime.
he
We have to,
can't
in
go.
He
fact,
lost
Kunal,
21
He
kilos?
looks great.
yeah, 106 to 85. Oh, I'm 87. I'm 2 kilos up, guys, with diabetes. But it's all good
Wait,
now.
you want to go up?
Yeah,
Please,
I
we
was
should.
down to just under 85. I'm now 87. I'm so happy.
Do you
Two
check your
kilos
weight every
since
day,
November
Cyrus?
30th. No,
How
she
often
took
do you
it
check your weight?
yesterday. Angel, my
Okay.
nutritionist, she took my weight yesterday in the morning,
I
and I
have stopped.
jumped and screamed, and she was so happy
I have stopped
because they
checking
took
my
me
weight
off the
because it just
metformin and
bums
all the
me out,
dangerous stuff.
especially the pandemic. Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tash and I talked about this today, like this morning on the way back from the gym. We were talking about body fat, and I was like, you know what? Actually, I don't even want to know. Add it to the list of numbers that we don't need to know anymore. Like I don't want to know the number of like the followers, number of likes, number of like certain dates, mobile, and like
yeah.
weight is
It
one
just
of those
became
things. I no
obsessive and
longer
it'll just
want to
weigh
know
you
these
down.
numbers.
You're
Yeah, it
right. You're
just brings you
spot on
down.
that. Why do you need that? Because it's all up and it's like the market. It'll just go up and down anyway. So what's the point? You'll just get same thing. I agree about the weight thing, but it's small petty victories. I just
No,
don't
no,
want to be thin.
I
I
know.
hate
I
the
know
idea
what
of
my
being thin.
weight is. If this was
Yeah.
a body fat percentage, I was like, now that's too much.
Oh, Ayushi, okay, now it's not a sexist comment, but please understand females have more adipose than males. So you
I
can't
know.
compare
It's so
always. Okay, so if you're
frustrating.
looking at 20, if you're 20, 25 in that area, it's not that bad for a normal person. Okay, so people
I
should
don't know where I
understand that
am.
for females.
Cyrus, there's
Well,
a pressing question for you by Bruce Wayne.
no, I
Thank
measured the
you.
same time, which is at the dietitians after breakfast and a little gap. So yeah, that doesn't make any difference. I eat fasted. I mean, I work out fasted, so it doesn't matter really. But at the same time is more important than anything else. Like if you're taking your weight.
We have a lot of audio listeners. Read out the
Yeah,
question,
the
please, to
question
them.
was
Oh, sorry.
Bruce Wayne had asked Cyrus, you measure weight pre or post poo? And Cyrus said, I measure whenever I measure.
And
One
post
time I
poo is
had
a
the best
very it's like an
experience at the
orgasm of a sorts. You need to just have a minute to yourself. It's not a time to go and hit the scales and all that. I feel like one of those dogs who just had sex and runs into the sea and bounding away with happiness for a minute or so. It's as you age, it's one of the few pleasures left. I
Yes,
usually so just rest comfortably.
apparently, I didn't know that.
no, I once had the best experience at a gym where it wasn't in
Oh
India, but
God,
I was
I
at the
thought you were
gym
going
and she
somewhere
was
else. Okay, Jim.
no.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about dogs and their
Okay.
post-coital activities. That's not my area.
Yeah.
They um
Unless they're on a boat. Huh.
okay they I was
God,
at the gym
this
and
is
I'm
like,
over
hey,
here.
Ayushi, sorry to
I
cut.
can't focus.
Before you tell the story, this is because I go on doing this with the kids, saying the bad thing by spelling it, like FUCK, like whatever. So my daughter finally said, we all can spell, It's just a stupid thing you do, like a small middle finger.
This
Sorry,
is
go on.
this was my small like act of rebellion. I'm just like,
Fair enough. You don't want to
We're
be
gonna
really
clip that.
rude. I
We're gonna
accept
clip
it.
that and play that on loop.
no, please don't.
Ayushi doing it.
My mother
Ayushi.
watches this show. So
Uh,
anyway, I was at the gym and I was listening. I overheard these two girls like they were weighing themselves, and one she gets on the scale and she's looking down and she's like, "But like the brain is like 7 pounds, right? So you don't have to count that. And I was like, you don't have to count that for sure. You don't have it. But I love that idea of like, imagine like, but my kidney is this much, so I should move that out. I'm only trying to weigh
The weighing scale per se allows you to see a lot of bad body language, which is ridiculous, awkward rather than bad. People trying to push down more or go on their heels and put the toes up, or trying to suck in their stomachs and all that, and think maybe they'll be a little lighter or heavier, whatever they want. I watched that when they stand. We have one in the dressing room with all these naked men between 8 and 80. And they all have different body language while they're on it because they're trying to get something out of it. It's exactly your point about, I don't want to see how many likes and dislikes and all. There's no point seeing it every day. You'll just go mad. I feel really bad.
You
for
can't
people.
see it every day.
Once a month.
That's so
Once a month.
unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyrus, we need to take a break.
Wow. How come they
You
didn't put in
sent
the
us some
chat?
topics and all also yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, the topics are like.
He's very hardworking. He still puts 5 to 6 topics in. Yeah,
but he gets to
generally-
reuse them for like weeks at a time, and we don't hit a topic.
We're
in
still on
15 minutes.
1999.
Yeah. By the way, you
hijack.
sneak. I saw the last.
We didn't get to any of them.
Because it was the same news. I was like, same news is recycling again.
No,
and
no,
again.
we had like some topics up top which were new.
Hey,
Some
Singapore, the
topics-
Singapore Prime Minister's comments have been going on for 3 weeks. He's retired. There's a new PM.
Yeah,
What are you
correct.
talking about?
PM is retired.
And the audience is too smart. They know that we're just wasting their time. So we're taking a break. Ayushi, welcome to the world of Johann Sebastian Bach. Here it is.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Storytellers and Storytellers, Vineet talks to music producer Kabir Katpalia. He shares what it was like making music for the film Gerhaiya. On Think Fast, Varun and Suchita are in conversation with Front Row's Ishan Preet Singh. He tells us about all there is to know about the subscription model. On The Wire Talk, Siddharth talks to author Pramod Kapoor about his new book, 1946 Royal Indian Navy Mutiny, The Last War of Independence. On Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav traces the legacy of Sindhis and tells us why crocodiles are important to them. And on Say No to Drama, Chetna deconstructs growing up but not growing apart in a relationship. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. The word of mouth really helps. Also, don't forget to rate us on whatever platform you're listening to us and check us out on YouTube. You can check a list of all our channels at ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda and HDFC Life Insurance. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Guys, you can't do this. You've got to tell us. Now, I have to understand. No, we'll discuss Amit's voice as well, but it's important to know why Sindhis have a strong correlation to crocodiles. I have too many Sindhi friends and relatives.
Where have you pulled
Please.
this topic from?
I
Where have
just-
you pulled
It
this?
was in the promo right now.
Ayushi,
I-
you were on your phone. Frankie. She was buying a Frankie on Amazon. Whatever.
I took a
Zomato.
phone break. I tuned out. I completely tuned out.
Oh, so mean. The show has no body to it. The only thing is the break. The break gives us something tangible to talk about. But no, please, is anyone? Can you tell us what's the
I
correlation?
haven't heard the episode.
I haven't either.
Sylvie?
What's the
I think it's Tere Mere Raste, where there's some correlation between Sindhis.
Sindhis, the
And,
Sindhi community, crocodiles,
yeah,
and Abhida
and
Parveen, the
crocodiles.
singer.
Wait, I'm sure we
Sorry,
can
one
make
sec,
something up.
one sec. Rishi knows the answer.
What do we do? Abandon the episode while he tells us? Okay, folks, any moment now.
Wow.
So apparently, Sindhis used to worship crocodiles because a huge crocodile had saved a person of importance.
Thanks, Vinay.
Hey,
Thanks, Vinay.
also, did you know
Wow.
crocodiles and alligators have no genetic correlation at all? They're
No,
not
really?
even from the same
What?
gene
How
pool.
is that
They're not
possible?
even vaguely related.
Really?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
As well as a turkey and a guinea fowl. Like if you see them together, you'd be like, that's cousins for sure.
And then we are
What about
still
a-
related to the chimpanzee.
what about a Hindu and a
somehow. I don't
Muslim?
understand how
What
it
about a
works.
Hindu and a Muslim? What's your take on that, Ayushi?
Same composition like a banana and a person, just a lot of potassium.
Stick with the turkey and the guinea fowl. We're safe there. You can say what
That's
we
crazy
want.
how evolution works, man. Like,
But I think one has a much longer
crocodiles and
snout, one has
alligators
a
all-
wider snout. There's a physical
Yeah.
differences.
Yeah,
are
but
quite
they
you
obviously
think-
look similar.
You'd think that they are, but
there
they're
must be
not.
some genes. It can't be completely different. There has to be some sharing of genes.
Well, I mean,
I
like
can't
they're
believe
both they both come from the amphibian kind of this, right? So, but at the
Same
same
Maybe
time,
from the different, like, so that's a
Sorry, we've-
classification, right?
We've gotten a correction. The Sindhi and crocodile thing was on Postcards from Nowhere. Kavita
sorry.
Rajwade has sent it. our
So
co-founder.
you, the owner of IVM, and you, the main producer, have no frigging clue about any of the frigging shows on IVM. So
Dude,
never
there
talk to
are
me.
So
Don't
60
many.
expect anything
episodes
from
Yeah.
a
us.
week that go out.
I'm shaming Amit on this. He didn't even know that
Yes.
Agla Station finished 100
I
episodes.
know.
No, no idea. Sometimes Amit doesn't even know he's on our show. I don't know what
Yeah.
he's doing. I think he's on in the market all
It's
day.
not a show. I just show up, man. I don't even think about
Yeah,
it like a show.
yeah.
I'm not even gonna read the news anymore. On stage, this is not right.
Okay, okay. Cyrus, do you
Okay.
want to get to your
The
word of the
cost.
day thing?
Oh, we haven't done that.
We
Jeez.
have
I thought
not.
I thought you
Cyrus
said it was
forgot.
Monday.
So it was
We
supposed to
forgot
happen
to
on
do word
Monday,
of the day.
but we're realized that we're
Monday
getting Amit
we
on
have
Tuesday,
Kajal talking
and
about
it's more
sex.
fun with
Ah,
Amit.
because he
Hello,
knows all the
Because
please
his
words.
tune in.
experience about these
For the
things.
first time, we have someone talking about sex in a very scientific and open way. It's nothing vulgar or disgusting. It's treated
Yeah,
beautifully, aesthetically by Kajal, and to some
great.
extent by Shreyas. But he brings
Yeah,
in
but
dolphins, and it's not quite the same. It's a
Kajo's story
little
was
bit
great. Please,
on
yeah,
the
please
edge.
go check
It's
that out.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
We're
most
going to
great.
have. She's only going to get questions on sex now. You realize that, right?
Yeah,
She's opened up
correct.
this Pandora's box of thoughts. They're only going to ask her.
Oh man,
But
great, great.
I don't want to get into it, but a couple of moments and things she said yesterday, Silvery, I was like, what? Am I too old and conservative? No, God, scary.
I need to
Yeah.
check this out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even I
You
need to
got
hear
to.
this episode.
So
See, when
basically,
women talk
yeah,
openly about
I want to say,
sex,
yeah,
Ayushi,
go
it's
check it out.
just, it's totally different because men aren't prepared for that. You get like a punch in the gut sometimes because, you
I
don't
know. Why
expect
can't you
it.
all handle it?
It's
You
almost,
know that
it's
we're the
sexist.
other
Yeah,
person there, right? Like, I mean,
correct.
the,
Well, not always.
so
Silvery and me
one
are
would
alone normally.
Yeah, yeah,
Ready?
and then yeah. Also, Shobik Bakshi has pointed out that we had the Naveen story also. So we've had
oh, last
almost
week.
two back-to-back episodes,
Oh
which
God, and
was very
he
wild
was
story.
unbelievable.
Sexist.
Okay.
I mean, he
Yeah,
thought she
Naveen
was
has a different energy only with
that's
it.
true.
Like,
different
that's
That's true.
energy.
completely.
Yeah.
And he's like an American comic of sorts. He's just so blatant about everything. And I'm like swallowing left, right, and center, no pun intended. That was another. I mean, he's using words like, the F word, and me and my boyfriend are, and me and Sylvia are like, okay.
No, actually, that was a bed
They
breaking
broke
the
the
bed
bed,
Yeah,
Ayushi.
story,
breaking the bed
right?
one.
That
Yeah,
that
Broke
was
the
breaking the
yeah,
bed.
bloody
yeah.
Yeah.
bed
It was
in
wild.
the act of
Uh,
coitus. Oh, and then
Okay.
of course we had the visual in our heads for the whole night and we couldn't sleep because of
God.
whatever Naveen looks like. The boyfriend apparently was even bigger. Shall we go into this?
Yes, please.
Okay, first word. It's a slightly archaic word. Uh, Amit, please don't get it right because I've now gone back in time to make sure that that you and your friends don't use these words freely in discussion.
Dude,
Uh,
guff is not that weird a word. Dross is
But
not
there are
that
so
weird a word.
many words.
Ayushi,
Dross
what is
was a
dross?
wordle word, no? A couple of years
Ayushi is
Yeah,
ago.
there are so
elite
many
school,
more
No,
elite,
words.
no,
com-
no, no,
elite
no.
family.
What?
What is dross?
May I have the spelling, please?
Dross.
Use it in a sentence.
No, no, no,
Um,
no, 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 no. It's too easy. No, no, no. So much for that, Amit, because she's as Tony as you can get. So I'm sorry, nobody knows this word.
alright.
Ready for
What
the
does
next one?
dross mean?
It's a biblical word. It means basically junk,
It's
trash.
like
Ah,
rubbish,
okay, fine.
To,
rubbish.
to 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 filter the dross from the gold.
We were thinking of
Okay,
changing our show's name to
fun
dross.
fact.
Yeah. Okay, ready? It's a noun and
Yes.
it's COS. If Sylvie, if you can just put it up, COSTER, one word, and then monger. There's two separate words together as one word. Costermonger. There's no hyphen. COSTERMONGER. Okay,
Coster,
Amit.
costermonger.
I don't know it, but I can guess it.
It's
Oh
like
shit!
something to do with
Now I'm getting scared.
accounts.
Oh, is it a hyphenated word or is that
No,
one
it's not.
run like costermonger?
No,
It's
no,
one word,
no.
but it's in two separate words. Word. So let's
So it's
call it a
definitely
phrase if you like.
descriptive of like a person who's doing something.
A
Yeah.
monger is
Yeah,
generally
like
somebody like a bargaining or like
yeah,
kind of like
right, exactly.
back
That
and forthing.
I would say that the
Yeah.
coster. It's too easy to just say that it's about cost.
Accounting. Something to
No.
do with accounting.
No, I don't think it could be that.
I think it
So
probably is that.
you're
These
breaking up
Oh,
words.
is
could it
correct,
be?
but the okay. Go ahead.
Huh.
Could it be like Amit said, a trader who just takes care of the cost part of the business, like
Okay,
is
so
part of
I'm
the
giving you
business.
the second half. Trader is correct. Okay, trader or seller is monger. Monger translates to trader or
Yeah,
seller.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
we
Yeah,
got.
That
yeah,
we got
yeah. We got
that.
Mongo.
Yeah.
So coster. What
Okay.
is coster? I don't know. Like
You get half points for getting half the word.
no.
Is
Okay,
there
so
any
it,
other
it
meaning for cost or cost
I can't
something
think of
else?
no,
any.
it's not.
A
You're
cost
going
means
wrong
to
with that.
to
But
assault
a
somebody, but I don't
cost
think
is
that's
different.
that's
Nah.
cost.
That's a cost. Okay,
cost.
guys, we don't have
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah, let's
costa
go.
is in reality it's a type of cooking apple. That's how it translates fully. But the meaning is
Okay.
a greengrocer, seller of fruit and vegetables. is a costermonger.
So like a
There you go.
greengrocer, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Who
All right.
sells fruits and vegetables? Yeah,
Oh,
greens.
okay.
So next time you go to the Bajiwala or whatever, it's actually the costermonger. You want to show off. Amit, finally we got
Yes.
you down.
Yes,
Well,
you did.
I'll give you 50%. You and Ayushi. Sylvie, I'm sorry. You were drawn
That's
another
fine.
one. But then you did say
That's
trader,
fine.
so I'll allow it.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, the
Yeah,
next
it would
one.
be offline.
This is a I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm going to spell it out. It's an adjective. Rantipole.
Mm.
Rantipole. I think it's rantipole.
Sounds like
Rantipole.
an anti-acid, like anti-acid, like antacid. It sounds like because I'm thinking of
Oh,
Rantac.
it's like someone who doesn't like the Interpol. So like they're anti-pol.
The Interpol, you mean Interpol.
Oh, that was awful.
Sorry.
Ran-
That's probably the least possible answer, but well
Okay.
tried.
Oh, that, I thought I was close. Ah.
Not at all.
Mm.
Rantipole. Come on, Amit. Please tell me you and your friends
Rantipoli.
use
I
this.
don't think I have ever heard this word before, ever.
Okay, I'll make it
Like,
easier for you. I'll use it in a
yeah.
sentence. Ala Ayushi.
Ha!
To behave in a rantipole manner.
That
How is
doesn't
that a
do
sentence? You said
anything.
it's a frick-
Oh, it's
you said it's an
helpful.
adjective.
Okay,
Okay,
Seductive? Is it
Silvery
something to do with
behaved in a
seductive?
is
rantipole
it like
manner.
a
In a seductive, like
Rantipo? Like he's a bit
turned on.
maybe
kind of?
angry or like difficult or like he was being.
Okay, so Silvery, you're far off with your
Okay.
sex crazy mind.
I don't know, man.
She's
I know
closer.
you,
She's
Cyrus.
closer.
That's what my head goes there.
No, bro, these words aren't made up by me. No.
Okay.
Okay, so she's usually a little closer, but it was
Okay.
somewhat
I got
there.
no clue. I have nowhere even to. I don't.
Look at Amit acting.
Yeah.
You
I have
describe a
no idea,
wild,
man.
reckless,
None
wild,
whatsoever.
reckless, quarrelsome person, an irritating
Okay.
personality in
Okay,
that
a
sense.
quarrelsome
So
person.
yeah,
Okay.
so Silvery behaved in a rantipole manner. It's a
It's a
pole
pole
dancer who runs.
dancer.
Ruben David, you win the grand prize of well at the
That's
moment
true.
absolutely nothing. There you go.
Yeah.
And we finished it in 6 minutes, guys. Not bad. This is the fastest
Not
we
not
ever
bad
done.
at all.
And
Absolutely.
Amit, you didn't score. Finally,
I
like
How
didn't.
many
Bradman, you made a
words?
duck
How
in your
many
final
words do you
innings.
do?
Two.
Oh,
We do
two
two, and
words.
then we
Okay.
argue for 40 minutes over it.
But
And
yeah,
then there's
it
something left.
goes long.
Once we've done a whole half just arguing about two words. It was like 30, 35 minutes, and then finally
Okay.
somebody
Wait, how
said
do
you
you
have to go.
argue about a word? If you know what the meaning is, how can you argue against it?
Just arguing that how
Because
Amit
firstly,
knows all
we
these words.
after Amit
In
comes
fact,
up with a
Marveling at
word,
that, basically.
I said last time Amit Googled and you guys all got you were like, no,
No,
he
he
just
doesn't.
knows all the
Yeah, he
words.
no,
just
if he
knows.
So
Google, that'd
Yeah.
be fine because then we know what's happening. It would make sense. But his point
Yeah.
is that he lives in a world of people who use these words on an everyday
No,
basis.
I
You ask
listen.
Silvery,
Dude,
please
the one.
play the loop of that sometimes.
So
He
this is
said
what we mean
these
by
things.
arguing. Over
what's
Yeah.
the words.
another
Yes.
word that you got that they didn't get?
So
That
so guff was one, dross was one. That's
Hmm.
the day that we got into this whole thing.
Okay.
And I'm just like, these are not unusual words,
no,
right?
I mean a word of biblical origin. That's like
But it's like it's not unusual. It's something that I remember reading like over and over again. I
maybe,
think it might even be in the Da Vinci Code. I was thinking about where. I
maybe.
think it might even be in like
You see why it takes
those.
35 minutes? Then we go to the Da Vinci Code.
No,
Then we
but
try to
so I
then
don't
we
know
talk about
exactly
horror and
where I got.
science fiction.
And the word guff is it feels very common to me because I know that I've heard "don't give me no guff" many times. Don't
From
talk
his
back to
friends.
me.
No,
Don't.
no, I understand. No, I know what the meaning of God is, but it's like I don't think I've heard it
Wow.
being used.
Hey, Ayushi,
in
read
a
what
word.
Shovik has written. Now this is a
Yeah.
twist in the
No,
Oh
tale.
no,
no.
I'm not accusing you of
It's not
cheating
you.
at all.
No, don't worry. It's fine. if my vocabulary is so great that people think that I'm cheating, I'm
That's
happy.
good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
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 Excuse me.
It's a flex.
Okay, if Kajal was
Alright.
here, G words. Okay, leave that.
Should we quickly get to
So
a topic and then quickly go into AMS?
It's
why waste time?
10:49.
We'll just go to the
I'm
AMAs. It's
just, I'm
10.
just, I'm just, I'm just throwing it out there so that
We'll do
people
it
don't.
next time. The Singapore guy,
Okay, we'll
no?
do it next time. Okay, chalo,
Yeah.
next time.
Sure.
Take it.
For sure.
What was the
Chalo.
topic you would have picked? Should you have picked one from
So
all your
yeah,
lists?
so I want to talk about. So we need to talk about this. The Singapore PM in Parliament basically was doing a debate about democracy and the way nations are founded. And in that, basically a point he made was talking about India and how Nehru, being a great leader and a great founding father, in today's India would be unrecognizable to him in a lot of ways, and that's what happens to a lot of nations after founding. That succeeding generations are not exactly succeeding generations. Sorry, are not exactly are not able to keep up to the ideals of the founding fathers. For instance, he said he quoted.
It's a critique of the
saying,
modern government.
yeah, something like some 363 members of parliament and MLAs in India have a criminal record or
Criminal.
criminal charges against them, and active pending cases, and
I
then
felt that
because
was
of
a little
that,
conservative figure. Anyway,
But now they can read the rest of this on the article because
yeah,
I just asked for what the topic was. We don't need to discuss it, right?
it's a good, well played. Nicely
that's
done.
why we have Kajal and Shreyas discussing sex and dolphins. Otherwise, it gets really heavy very fast with Silvery. He's going through that, man search for meaning moment
This
in
is
your
yeah,
20s.
sure, yeah, that's it. It's almost 30 now.
Oh, yeah,
But
Kohli captaincy topic is still pending, and that's
You
like 3
guys
weeks
didn't do it
old.
when Abhijit was on the other
Are
day?
you kidding?
How can
You
we?
still haven't discussed it. Like he
yeah,
Rohit took on another
Ab-
captaincy yesterday.
Abhijit, Abhijit had shot pictures of female models in his building and how all the males suddenly went to
yeah.
the vendors to buy potatoes and onions and all that about 10, 15 times so they could see the models being
They
shot
went to the
downstairs.
costermonger.
The costermonger.
There you
There
They
you
go.
went
go.
to
Yeah.
Well used. Well done.
No,
Oh my god, Ayushi.
but yeah,
Ju-
there's just so much
Really.
to talk about on some days, and then some days when we have something to talk about, we don't have cricket relevant people who can talk cricket. That's what's happened basically. And
No, but
yeah.
we didn't put up the topic with Abhijit. We just went from one thing to another. I have no recollection of the topic being in our head
I think
at that
wasn't
point.
this the day where we were talking about that thing in the people hanging from the balconies and all?
Yeah.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah,
Oh, you
there
got to
was
see that video.
where was it
Silvery's
from, man? Was it
friends.
Nagpur or
Oh,
Indore?
the
Where
one
was this?
where
Faridabad?
Hyderabad. Yeah, Hyderabad.
Not Hyderabad.
Where
Faridabad.
this Faridabad. This
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
this from the 10th floor of this house,
Hmm.
they drop like some clothes to the 9th floor
Yeah,
of the
yeah, I
house.
saw this
Yeah,
video.
and so the
And the
woman
and the
sends
kid,
her
8-year-old
10-year-old
kid.
kid on
10-year-old
hanging
kid.
with a sari from the balcony, from of the 10th floor balcony to the 9th floor balcony, and the kid is like struggling to get back up. It's very funny, but it's so scary.
If
Holy
it is
I
not
was
funny,
very
I was like,
I
you
was-
should
That's
report
not
this
funny at
parent.
all.
No, you know the kid survived and he's fine. So that's why now it's
No, but
fine.
I mean,
then
like,
the
still, I
husband
mean,
was
like,
mentioned.
was
This
scary.
child
he's
abuse.
still
not-
living in the house of that
Yeah.
person who thinks
wait.
that this is
Yeah,
a good
that's-
idea.
There's
This
one more
child
video.
abuse.
The husband, the father
That is
was
definitely
stretching
sad.
outside the balcony. As
Yeah.
in,
So so basically the railing is there, right?
Oh,
You get on the outside of the balcony
on the
and you do your
parapet,
stretches
stretching,
outside.
holding the
So basically, when you're
Okay.
bending down, your butt
that
is in
make up
the
the
air
balcony. Yeah.
in like
Yeah. Jayant
on
Verma
the
says it's an
whatever
open
floor.
gym in Faridabad. It's very famous. Yeah, okay. Membership is also
I
open because they're
just
constantly
what
losing
the-
members.
can't understand
Faridabad is
whether-
crazy. Is what we
Eh,
found out. Yeah.
okay. All right. Wow. Okay. I don't even know what to say.
can't
That's
be
Yeah,
Faridabad is
I mean, this
crazy.
is like something that she probably had focus in anime.
Oh man,
It's
God,
not
we
a
don't
big
have a.
deal.
We are not the PC police here. Really, honestly. Shall we get into the first AMA?
Yes.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
Silver.
The first one comes in from Royston Dissa, who says, "I'm traveling to Panchgani tonight. Any recommendations?" I would recommend
answer.
the El Palazzo. We used to always stay at the El Palazzo. This is also Amir Khan's favorite hang
Does he own
before he
land
had a
there or
house.
something?
Apparently, sorry.
He owns a property.
Now he does. Now he does. But for
Yeah.
years he used to just come here apparently, and because they have like very good
He owns
home
my
cooked meals.
classmate
they give
Humi
at his
Adajania's
level.
You
house.
get very
He
good
bought his.
strawberries in Panchgani.
Great. Mapro. Yeah, you should go to Mapro. Go to Mapro is a
But
great
maybe he
hang.
means
Yeah, but
but
I
like
mean,
strawberries
like
in general.
general, like you
Yeah,
get good
on the roads,
strawberries
yeah.
in
You get the
in,
other ones too, right?
Panchgani.
The blueberries or the blackberries. Blackberries.
You
Hey,
get good berries,
Silvery,
basically. in
can you
Panchgani.
do the call? Strawberry. Strawberry. Can you do that? Can you do that?
I know what you mean. Yeah, I've
You must
that.
have heard it in Panchgani all the
Strawberry,
time.
Yeah, but I don't. I
Yeah, hold the
never
first
do
part.
it.
But I'm gonna
Wow,
practice
yeah.
that.
Don't.
Bro.
Let's
That's
not.
fun.
I
I'll
saw
just ruin it.
I saw 18 comments saying that no show is complete without Antariksh doing a bad accent. So
Yeah,
there you go.
okay.
Oh, you just
Strawberry. Okay, got it, guys. That's it.
What did we do? What did we do yesterday where it was completely off tangent the accent? God, it was hilarious. Yeah.
Huh?
Was it Japanese?
That was the Queen's accent. Oh,
The
God,
Queen.
let's
He did
not-
the Queen's accent. 95-year-old Queen with COVID.
Oh, God.
And she sounded like,
Oh,
I don't
God.
know, from Manipal maybe? At the end of it.
Like, hello. That was my accent of the Queen. Yeah. How is it going, young child?
you can't actually think that that's an accent. Oh,
That's
Antariksh.
exactly how the Queen sounds. What are you talking about?
There is, it's I mean, honestly, if you it's like Red Riding Hood, that old, the grandmother with a beard.
The wolf.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
sounds
the
like the wolf masquerading as the grandmother.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not
yeah,
even
that's
the
it.
grandmother.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Arpit says
Alright.
your accents are hurting, Ayushi. Is that true? I think they bring a lot of
My
brevity,
very soul.
levity.
See, coming from South Bombay, we're more accustomed to a cleaner, more original British accent. So when Antariksh comes with his Powai vibes,
Yeah.
Beach Candy
I'm so
born.
sorry.
Beach Candy via Panchgani and Goa. It's all over the place. Yeah. You know Panchgani accent? That's the question anyway.
There is
What is Panch?
there's no Panchgani accent. It's a
Yeah, of course there
Maharashtrian
is.
accent.
The village. Yeah, but of
The-
that area, there'll be a drawl of sorts.
No, I don't remember this. Yeah, like I really don't. I was in ninth and tenth standard. It was like so many
So
years
no
back.
villager molested you, basically. Damn it. All
Yeah,
right.
no,
Okay.
damn it,
Oh,
indeed. All right, Nirzar Bhaitkar says, "Hey Cyrus, love the show. Listener since 2015, first time streamer.
wow.
Came via Ayushi's link on Instagram. She has the right feminine energy this sausage fest needs. Love you guys.
Yes,
Kajol.
that's so true.
Kajol.
I
Kajol.
Hey
Kajol has
Nizar,
changed it.
big fan of you also. This is why I get so
Hey,
excited by even like this little
Ayushi,
comment. It's gonna
the
make
three
my
of
whole
us are
day.
but that's not fair. The three of us are the happiest when a lady, when you come on, for example. It's not like
Yeah.
we're angry or something. That doesn't make any sense. There are no
Oh,
ladies who are willing to come on. The female force is not willing to come on our show. We try so hard. We've asked
To be
everyone.
Yet.
We
No,
don't
but I
try
think
that hard.
no,
If we
I
tried
don't
hard, I'm
think.
sure
Yeah,
we'd
I
get.
don't think y'all try that hard. But to be honest, it's fun.
Naveen
Like, I
didn't
mean, I
try that
like
hard for
coming.
some reason. Naveen was not that keen on the female
No, but
voice being
I think
heard.
it's something we need to make sure that we do, especially as we do more of these what we're
It
going to
also,
call
but Amit,
CnBs.
yeah, no, it allows us to have opinions, which it
Yeah.
doesn't look like you're being a dominant opinion,
Yeah.
especially if it's some sexism involved in that or
I'm
point of view,
the
which is
minority card here. Is that
no.
the
But
reason I'm here?
when Kajol spoke about sex so openly, it's much easier for us to then go on with it. Otherwise, we look like three
Yeah, of
weirdos.
course. Then it's
Amit
like
doesn't do it that
creepy.
he's quite
Yeah.
gentlemanly about it, but Silvery, me, and Naveen, for example, together was horrible. It just sounds like three weirdos after three drinks. It's not
But
fun.
it's
Mm,
yeah,
sure.
it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. But when she brings it into the mix, it starts becoming like a
Mm.
scientific discussion on a topic, or you for that matter, immediately. So yeah, I think it's a good point. We accept it.
Thank
Fair
you very
enough.
much.
Yeah,
Would you like to be paid? Next question.
Please,
Just
I'm
like
so poor.
just like all Indian men.
Rohit
You've got
Sharma,
an
next
office.
one.
She's got an office, guys, listening double the size of this office where she is right now, which is 20 feet away, which she goes to. That's her main source of income. Just by the way, huh?
It is my only source of income. Please don't make it sound like this is the source of income.
Okay, fair. You made your point. You made your point. Hamisha's trying to make hers. I'm the only woman on chat too regularly. That's possibly true. We don't have too many
Yeah, thank
females.
you, Hamisha. That's so
Why
nice
do
of
we
you.
have, why don't we have any female following? Ayushi, what do
We
you have?
have-
Male or
we
female
have some.
following?
Hey man, I have fans. This is so cool.
Yeah.
It's a very low
Actually, stop
barometer.
with it.
You just have to be better than him, me and Amit. Don't get excited. Okay? This is not Joe Rogan.
This is that's why I should just temper my own excitement
Yes.
as to
Yeah,
having
you
this.
can't go home and
It's
tell your
very
folks,
true.
you know what? I got lots of love from this show. And come on.
No, I
To
gotta
be
be
honest,
cool. Yeah,
we
you're
keep our
welcome. I mean, it's fine to be here.
yo, too much love can kill you.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next one.
Next.
Comes in from the captain of the Indian team, Rohit Sharma. He asks,
Yeah.
refuse to read anything about the ABG shipyard scam unless I'm informed by a shipping correspondent, Ayushi.
Hey, you gotta give us something.
You know,
An
by
entire
the way,
hour
I gave
without a
y'all
word.
no. Shut up. Antariksh, I gave y'all a shipping story also last week. I put it on the group saying because, and I sent it to y'all also, and y'all didn't cover it in the show.
But it has to be with you, no? That's the thing.
Oh,
I mean, what else?
Also,
Who else are we
also,
going to
you
talk?
see,
Do you realize how
sometimes the
much
shipping-
stories actually get spoken about?
nothing, nothing, nothing.
And secondly, sometimes the shipping story only makes sense to you. We're just playing along. Sometimes we have no
But this
idea
one
what
was-
it is.
This one was like a really fun little tidbit on the side. This shipyard scam and all that's different. There's a lot of information, but this other one was there was a car carrier sailing from Europe to America basically, and it had like a lot of Porsche and stuff on board because it was a Volkswagen carrier. In the sense, it had a lot of V-dub cars on
Right.
board, but a lot of them were Porsches, and it had a crash or it broke down basically around Portugal, around like the Azores or something, and it was stranded. And it had to they had to send in a rescue crew. But the interesting part of this is there is kind of like this old maritime legacy law, which does say that rescuers usually get to have a certain cut of the
Of the
cargo
board,
on
yeah,
board.
yeah.
And because the cargo on board was like Porsches, everyone was like, oh, so do the rescuers each get a car, whatever.
Wow.
But on the other side, like Volkswagen in
Simple
America
maths.
had to like inform all their customers, like, yeah, your Porsche is delayed and stuff like that.
So if
But
it's 30%, they get 3 out of 10 cars. That's pretty good.
I don't know what there's 30%. I said that it's like this weird law that used to exist that rescuers get part of the bounty.
Salvage law.
Yeah, like it's kind of like salvagers
Yeah.
situation, but in this, it would
Wow.
be funny. Yeah. And it was
Excellent.
a sweet little story that came out, and I sent it to you all also nicely as your shipping correspondent.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. And we covered it today. Nice. Nicely done.
So we had a story today, guys. All said and done. That's not bad.
Yeah.
We have one story in the entire.
We had
When you do the
two. He even
promo,
said he said the Singaporean thing. So that
The
was two
the PM
stories.
one.
yeah, but there was no to and fro. We just told him to shut up after 1 minute and we moved on. I thought that was fairly unnecessary. Okay,
All
next
right.
one.
Next one comes in from Sridhar Bhupati. He says, "Hi Cyrus, Antariksh and team. Reminding you about the question you had to ask Amit about Amit's date stories."
What?
So basically, we were talking about yesterday with Kajol and Shreyas about their
Okay.
date stories, and they talked about, okay, it'll be interesting to talk to you also, okay, whether you have been on like dates recently and like
Awkward dates
Okay.
basically were what
awkward
came
dates.
up because she had this
Yeah.
Awkward dates.
I
psycho.
So
thought
we had
Amit
awkward
Well,
was married.
No, I'm not married.
dates.
was married.
No, he is, but he still goes on dates and all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't think of anything recent at
No?
all.
Have you had any awkward dates ever? Like any bad dates?
Yeah,
you
I'm sure
remember?
in life, of course. Ugh. Mm.
Ayushi, what about you?
You only
Quickly
have 3
moving
minutes
on to
left.
Ayushi.
Listen
You're
to
not
Agla
that
Station
guy.
Adulthood. Many,
Yeah,
many stories
you
of
can.
adulthood.
Oh, that's how you
Yeah.
plug it.
That's
That's
how you
true. We
plug it.
have
Yeah.
multiple dating episodes as
Oh,
well.
come on.
We even have one where Tasha and Jalasmi went on dating apps and they talked about their
Oh,
experience.
so
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 yeah,
did she. So did Kajol. That's where it all comes from. Come on,
Mhm.
Ayushi, quickly tell us your story.
one weird one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. One dude came and stood outside the house and sang a song. He changed the words to a certain lyric and he sang that. That was very unsettling.
What, first time date or
Yeah,
second
first
time?
date. First
What?
date did
No,
that.
that is very.
One
Was he
person
sober?
Yeah.
was wearing a long sleeve shirt the first time we met, so it was fine. The second time we met, he had like a massive Shiva Trishul tattoo like here, and it was like creeping up, and I was like, oh no, I feel unsafe.
Hmm.
And the third one, which was amazing, was he. In the middle of the date, somebody walks in and sits behind us, and he said, "I know this girl." I was like, "Oh, feel free to go say hi." Like I thought it was a friend. He was like, "No, I can't." So I said, "Oh, bad date," and he was like, "Yeah." And then tells me that he's actually doing a 10-date Tinder profile and
Okay.
he's writing for this web series, like this web
What?
page or journal or something like that. No, no, no. And he's like, yeah, so each week I go out with another girl and I write about my experience on like Tinder in India. And she was number 4. And instead of getting up, my question was, what
Which
number
number am
am
I?
I?
Yeah.
And he was like, 8. And like half of my brain was like, Ayushi, leave. But the other half was like, but this is a story.
Yeah, this is a great story.
I sat
So you
Did
there.
the
stayed?
article come out? Did the
Yeah,
article come
Stayed?
out?
and he sent it to me and I
And
read it and we never met again.
how
But
did he like your date? That date? Like, did he comment on
But
each
after
date
that,
individually?
yeah,
after
yeah, I
that,
read
what?
all of them. I read all of
So
No,
them.
how
but
was your date
af-
according to him in the article?
and post him
Uh,
telling you that it was a fake date. How did it go?
Yeah, that's
You
what.
relaxed.
I ordered more drinks.
Hey, he has to pay for it now. It's his company.
Yeah,
credit.
this I've told this story before. He wrote about it after, and it wasn't good or bad. He was just like, we have a lot in common, but I can't tell whether that's because our background is the same or whether it's actually the person. And I was like, I mean, fair enough. You thought about it so much. I didn't give it that much thought. But yeah.
Oh, oh. This is like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, the movie.
Yeah, but he was
It's kinda
trying to
like that.
find a girl in 10 dates.
Yeah, that's exactly
Like,
it.
yeah,
But it's
that-
great
that was it.
practice. Great practice for the guy, because without any pressure, really, it's like fake dating. And then when he goes into the game again, he's got that experience of dealing with 10 girls in a short span of time, and he's got all that to work with. I wish I had thought of that. Damn, I got married so soon. Shadi.com. I hate you. Really.
So I thought of one. This was before pandemic, so not then. But it turned out to be
Mine
like,
was before.
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah. It turned out that so it was one of the dating app things, and seemed like a very normal person. Turned out to be like a hardcore Sadhguru Bhakt, like hardcore Sadhguru Bhakt,
Oh,
and yeah, that.
did she try and convert you?
But no, I mean like just constant. But I mean like, dude, that's the eventual goal, I guess.
Yeah,
Right?
yes.
So, I mean, like I'm like as opposite
Was she
to that
attractive?
as you could be, right? Yeah, reasonably attractive. But I mean, like, but I'm the opposite of that from
Tough to
every angle,
compromise.
right? I'm atheistic,
Mm.
and I have no patience for any kind of
learning so much about Amit.
cultural nonsensical kind of bullshit, right? Sadhguru is the worst of both worlds, right? So I hope I'm not pissing people off,
Man,
but
you definitely
he's
are.
It's your
both-
independent
he's
opinion.
both-
We are fans.
uh,
Go on.
No, I mean, like, it's both highly, it's both highly religious, but it's also highly cultish. And so it's like, it's in my mind, it's like, this is the
It's not for you.
it's not
It's
for me.
not for
There you
you.
go. It's not for me.
There
Thank you.
you go.
Thank you for saving me from myself.
You're welcome.
I would use that to break up with the girl, but I'd let it play out a little bit. Then you have
No,
that
wait. Would
reason.
you tell a girl that you were a Sadguru person to break up with them, or would you say that your Sadguruness is the reason for the breakup?
No, the latter. But after some time, I would, the goods, both parties should sample the goods, you should take a little, if they were attracted to each other, and
Hey
then
man,
drop the
no,
bomb.
no, no. I'm playing the woman card. You can't say sample the goods and then
I said
move
both
on from
parties.
it.
It's sample for both.
Oh,
Both
okay,
parties
fine,
sample because let's say
fine.
both are attracted to each other. So I'm just saying, why can't we
Ha
just
ha
play that
ha
out a
ha.
little bit and then realize that they're not meant to be because philosophically there's a huge difference. And as you know, the longer it plays out, then the philosophies and thought processes are the problem. So I used to convert for this girl. I don't
Uh,
know. Like Amit, I'm not very religious. I don't really
love
care.
Sadhguru.
Yeah.
If there's good money in it and she's really hot, what the hell? Worse crimes have been committed. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she can take it to Canada and then ditch
I mean,
you.
my wife is a
Yeah.
pseudo leftist. All my life I have to put up with her communist nonsense, and she's a club membership here and three, four cars, and Alibag property. But she's a leftist in her mind. What can I do? There's these people all over the world. I might have preferred the Sadhguru Bhakt now when you think about it. A little more honest. I hope she can't hear me. God. All
Also, I just
right.
realized I can see the
All right,
comments.
last one.
Uh-huh.
I just realized I can see
Yeah.
the
What
comments.
comment? Oh,
You only see the
you
comments
just,
when there's
I
Ayushi
didn't.
you
and
just saw
hearts.
them
I didn't
now.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Wait,
you're only
notice?
seeing them when they're coming up
Yeah,
live.
yeah, yeah.
No, she only reads
I
those
was only
comments
seeing
where
what
her name is
I was
mentioned.
only
I
seeing what you
noticed
were
that.
putting.
Huh.
I didn't know only.
Okay, this last one comes in from Girish Patil. This is for Amit. He says, "What's your opinion on Ranveer Singh's presence during the NBA All Star Game? Do you think it will propel the sport in India?"
I hope it does, but it was an awesome game. It was an awesome event. I had I have not had so much fun watching an NBA All Star game in the longest time. It was
This is the
so
one
they
where
got
that Towns guy scored all those points.
he scored a 3-pointer. Yeah,
3-pointer
yeah,
records. Yeah,
he won the 3-point thing. Dunk contest was awful, but then the game itself was really good. It was a really fun game. They've got this new ending for the game where basically on the fourth quarter it is so whoever's leading at the end of the fourth quarter gets 24 points added to their score, right? Or rather 24 points are not added to the score. Whoever's leading at the fourth quarter, let's say you're leading 95-90 at the
Hmm.
end of the fourth quarter, the first team to score 100 sorry, what is 24 plus 9, 119 points.
Hmm.
The first team to score 119 points wins.
so there's a
Oh,
limit.
So
okay.
It's like a
huh? Yeah,
tiebreaker.
it's
No
a top
limit.
limit. So
Yeah,
what it does is that the game always has to end with a made shot, not with a missed shot, and
correct.
that changes the entire way that the last few minutes of the games are played because there is no clock. You're not playing against the time, right?
Ah,
So
So
what
you're just
was
playing for a
you're
score.
just playing for a score. So it made it
what was
really fun and competitive.
Was he
Ranveer
good?
Singh was
Oh.
what was
He
he
was in
doing?
the celebrity game. I didn't watch that. That game sucks. Sorry,
Oh,
that
okay. No,
game's
no.
not fun.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about. I was like,
No,
so I'm
no,
impressed that you said it was good.
no,
Because
not
I,
that game. I'm talking
I
about the
heard he
actual game.
played
yeah.
the
Also, it is.
game, but he was using Kapil Dev's bowling action, so it didn't work out that well. He was stuck in that role, so it took some time.
But I
Yeah.
think he got a really good intro and quite a reception too. So I think
he's pretty big now, I would
he is.
say.
He's
Like,
really big.
and I
Yeah.
mean, I liked 83. I have no
Look,
complaints.
and there are
If,
Indians everywhere. There's no where in the
yeah.
world a superstar from India can go. There's just no hope
No,
for
this
you.
was Cleveland, and so I mean, like
A fair
there's a
amount of Indians,
yeah,
I'm
it's a
sure.
significantly Indian
Yeah,
population
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
this
There
year.
you go.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Imagine
but
they had ethnic Indians, and then we came, and now those people are so less, and we are so much more. It's almost like in your face kind of bad behavior. That we wiped out the Indians, but now the other Indians have come and they're wiping us out because we're growing faster than anything, as far as we can see. Yeah. Hey, how come they can keep names like Redskins? I wanted to ask you this
they
They
actually.
can
changed
they
it
changed
now.
it now. It's the
Now
Oh,
it's
they
the
Washington
changed it.
Washington.
Commandos.
Yeah, they changed it.
They changed it to the worst possible name.
Horrible
Like
name.
honestly, horrendous name. It was for the last 2 years. It was called the Washington Football Team. That was better.
Or Rednecks. They could have gone with Rednecks. That would have been nice. Oh.
That would have been interesting.
All
A great
right.
episode on Simplified for those of you who want to find out about American football. They explained basically one of the guys over there spent a couple of years in Malaysia and was playing a lot of video games and got into American football. And so he did this whole episode explaining what exactly it is. I heard the episode. It was really fun. So another episode to recommend. See, I know what we do. I know some of our shows, some of our episodes.
Silvery, it's a great game. They fight over 1 and 2 yards. It's very Indian. Very petty, it's
Th-
like fighting over a little property here
You
and
know,
there.
honestly, there's so many breaks in that game. I've been for a game and it was just like, so there's such little
Yeah,
game,
you're
like
right.
play
Nothing
time to
happens.
pause time.
It is.
Like it
Three
doesn't,
feet.
nothing happens.
In the
Yeah.
hour so it's a 3 hour game, and that
Yeah.
3 hour game, it's 60 minutes of timed action. 60 minutes of timed action is actually closer to 18 minutes of like actual action.
Actual play. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. There was
So,
nothing going
Yeah.
on. And I was like, y'all make fun of actual football?
Yeah.
They play for
so
90 minutes.
Salary,
They do, but
it's
then
it's
they're different sports. They play differently.
No,
I
no,
mean,
I know. I'm just
yeah.
saying like
but
how Americans are like, oh,
no,
this
no,
is
we
real
can.
football.
For those who
And
don't understand, it's exactly like
yeah.
Salary and my sex life. So there's a lot of all this and all that, but the actual time, I mean, Salary, I speak for both of us here, if you don't mind, not
Yeah,
really
3
that
hours and 18
long.
minutes of actual action. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah,
That
18
sounds
minutes out of 3 hours. Yeah.
exhausting. That
For which you
sounds
work very,
18
for which
minutes.
you work very hard, considering you're the only lover involved. I mean,
and
Yeah,
3 hours?
there's no love from the
This is
other
why he
side.
doesn't come to office. He's exhausted.
I wake up early. I usually have to fill the hours. What are you supposed to do? Oh. Okay, listen. I think that's the end of the episode, or you want to do some more?
Just one thing that everybody has brought up is the palindrome day. Uh,
Oh,
so it's 2202 2022, which basically goes the same either way.
Oh, wow.
Hannah.
Huh?
Hannah. That's another palindrome. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just giving
Okay.
palindrome. Sorry.
No, no. So I saw the 1111 and then the 2022. Sorry,
Nice.
So
2202.
what does it signify? Is it like good luck or something?
Nothing. It means nothing. It's just something that people talk about.
It's just,
And you talk
yeah.
talk about masturbating in different forms. I mean, really, what a waste. Suddenly 15 minutes of this conversation about numbers being the same. What's wrong with this country and the world
Hey,
at
listen,
large?
I'm just giving a public service right now because people are about to tell you about how today is a special day
Hmm.
that only comes once every
Oh,
1,000 days.
the
years, or
forwards will
whatever.
start. Oh no, no,
Hold
no,
up.
no, no.
What's it gonna
This
come?
is not going to come for another 1,000.
God knows when it's gonna come next. I don't know. This deeper palindrome might not, right? Because
Yeah.
for 2022, I don't know. I will have to
I'm
kind
gonna
of
look that
think.
up.
Think
Mhm.
it up. Think it through.
Yeah, Girish is bang on. Best of luck
Yeah.
for all the WhatsApp forwards that you've started now, which will start coming on. Oof, ouch. Mm. Anyway,
I thought I should warn people about it.
I like it. We take a special. It's cool.
It's a nice
Like,
day.
you know,
just-
actually, I get excited when my watch shows 21:21 also. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there
I
you
get like,
go.
oh, I saw that. Oh, cool, cool.
Really, this is just an appreciation
Yeah.
for the passage of time.
The thing
Yeah.
that makes me happy is like in the car when you can see the zeros kind of go, like so when you go so in the this is a in my last car when we went from 9,999
and you go up,
to
yeah, yeah.
10,000.
Yeah.
back
That
to
was
zero.
wow, that one's
That
cool.
I agree.
I
Those are
enjoy
cool.
that.
Cyrus
Yeah,
hates.
I know. I want to just go back to the Frankie thing and good news, bad news. Bad news, it's not open yet. Okay. Good news, of course, you can try, but you have to wait till 1 o'clock. In South Bombay, at least 1 o'clock for the Frankie.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's so.
Damn, I
Okay,
just
I have
checked.
to go to work now. So bye. I actually have to go to work. So I'm not kidding.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Alright,
we
yeah,
should
yeah,
end.
all good.
All right. Give us something to eat, poor thing.
Oh, Ayushi?
Yeah.
We
Stone
call for
silence.
Frankie.
No, no, I
We'll
have
get a Frankie here in
I have
car.
my breakfast
Oh, you
with
do?
me. I
Okay,
carried
okay.
my breakfast.
Okay. Cool, cool.
Okay. With
All
that,
right.
we say goodbye to another episode of whatever the hell it's called. We'll see you soon. Bye
What is
bye.
this?
Who knows?